We have a breaking news update out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota right now on your fast track to the top of the hour. An escapee from Becker County is now back in custody. 25-year-old Alexander Robar of Bemidji was arrested just before 10:30 last night after 6 hours on the run. Robar ran out of the courtroom yesterday after being sentenced to nearly 2 years in prison on an earlier escape charge. Deputies, police, and state troopers scrambled to find him, and he was finally found in Detroit Lakes and then arrested without incident. He's now in the Becker County Jail and will be facing more charges because of the latest escape. Robar had posted bail on his previous charge. That's why he was not in custody during yesterday's court hearing. Also on your fast track, police are investigating a stabbing on Fargo's south side that sent one person to the hospital. It happened just after 6 last night in the 1000 block of Page Drive. That's a few blocks north of the Applebee's on 13th Avenue. Police say one person is being treated for injuries. They're not considered life-threatening. Officers say the two people know each other. Now, there has been no word this morning, though, from police about what led up to that stabbing or if anyone has been arrested. We are also continuing to track a story out of Moorhead this morning where police are working to confirm the identity of a man's body found in the Red River. A group of kids discovered that body near the shoreline in the 1000 block of 7th Street North around 12:30 yesterday afternoon. Police say it appears that body was in the water for a long time. Personal property found in that body is giving police an idea of who it is, but the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's Office is now working to make a positive ID. We have breaking news out of the UK this morning. British media outlets are reporting that Prime Minister Boris Johnson has agreed to resign, ending an unprecedented political crisis over his future. Johnson had rejected calls by some of his cabinet to step down in the wake of an ethics scandal. He is resigning now after more than 40 ministers quit his government and then told him to go. It is now 6:52. Let's get a check of that fast track forecast. Meteorologist Nathan Hopper in this morning. Good morning, Nathan.
Hey, good morning, Jordan. Good morning, everybody. Look at this. This is our Hankinson, Dakota Magic Casino Skycam, I should say, in Hankinson. No need to adjust your screen here. This is dense fog we're seeing. The flags for the casino should be right there on the horizon, but you can't hardly see the lights in the parking lot there. So dense fog out there in the Southern Valley. Take it slow. Take it easy. Use those low beams if you encounter that dense fog. In Fargo, 93% relative humidity, 67 degrees the air temperature, so humid and mild to start. In Grand Forks, it's a beautiful sunny day there in Grand Forks, 64 degrees the air temperature there. Also a bit on the humid side in the Northern Valley as well, but of course watching a few lingering showers out toward the far east. Things look pretty good there. Out toward the west, though, some storms pushing through Bismarck. These could leave some showers out toward the west, but Jordan, best chance of storms today toward the south. Nothing severe, but have the umbrella ready south.
All right. Keep the VNL weather app handy as well. Nathan, thank you this morning. It's now 6:53. It is 12 years in prison for an 18-year-old for his role in a shooting that sent a West Fargo boy to the hospital with a gunshot wound. That 6-year-old was hit in the head by a stray bullet back in March of 2021 in what police say was a robbery gone wrong. Jermond Johnson Jr. was sentenced yesterday on federal charges of interference with commerce by threats and violence and a Hobbs Act robbery. Those charges are related to drug offenders who use guns while committing a drug crime. 20-year-old C.J. Carruthers was sentenced in February to 10 years behind bars for the same incident. Police say he and Johnson were robbing a drug dealer when Carruthers fired a gun. The other guy then returned fire. That bullet went through a house and hit a boy. That child did survive the shooting. A Princeton, Minnesota gym teacher is now facing criminal charges for hitting an 8-year-old boy in the face with a hockey stick. It was all caught on camera. Now, the boy had tossed the stick to the sideline. You see the teacher right there bend down to pick it up, and the teacher flings it back at the boy, hits him in the face. You see him recoil back. Now, Kim Neubauer is that teacher. She was put on leave after the incident and is now accused of third-degree assault. It's decision day for the fate of a Fargo South High School teacher. The school board will meet in just about half an hour at 7:30 this morning to decide whether or not to fire Kevin Kennedy. He was suspended without pay on April 6th after the district received at least 6 complaints about him that he had crossed boundaries with students and created an uncomfortable learning environment. New documents say that Kennedy admitted to school officials that he asked students if they take and send nude pictures, and that he told a student they should know that the only reason another student invited them over at 3 in the morning was for sex. Documents also say the testimony and evidence presented at last month's executive discharge hearing showed that Kennedy engaged in unprofessional personal conversations with students, including texting a girl at the school that he would have her kiss a boy at the school during a play to make the teen's boyfriend jealous. Kennedy was also accused of touching students inappropriately without permission and being overly invested in student relationships. Last month, the school board voted unanimously to fire Kennedy for cause based on immoral conduct, conduct unbecoming to the position of a teacher, and gross inefficiency that Kennedy failed to correct after multiple written notices. Today, if the findings are approved by that school board, Kennedy will officially be discharged and will not receive any pay or benefits as of his suspension date in early April. The district will then also be required to report Kennedy's firing to the Education Standards and Practice Board. There is a troubling trend going on right now. Online predators are targeting children, building relationships with them, and then extorting them for sexually explicit images. The FBI calls it sextortion, and it can happen anywhere and to anyone. The Valley Today's JC Dodd joins us live in studio with how children are falling victim to this scam and what parents need to know right now.
That's right, Jordan. The FBI says predators carrying out this crime are skilled and ruthless, using the vastness of the internet as an entry point to a child through any number of online sites, apps, or games. The FBI says if you're thinking, my child wouldn't do that, think again. They've interviewed victims as young as 8 years old, children of both genders and across all ethnic and socioeconomic groups. The only common trait among victims, internet access. The St. Paul man, Yu Vang, who pleaded guilty to an extensive online sextortion scheme last month, has more than 500 victims located in all 50 states and 10 different countries. FBI agents say he created 75 fake online accounts and communicated with more than 1,000 other accounts, each having the potential to be a victim. The best way to protect your child is by having open and honest conversations, asking questions like, has anyone you know ever tried to contact you online that you don't know of them? Has anyone you've ever known ever sent a picture of themselves that was passed around at school? The FBI was able to catch Vang because one victim came forward, leading them to identify more than 500 other victims. Now, if this is happening to you or someone you know, you're not alone. When you're ready, you can call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or report the crime online at tips.fbi.org. It's a very scary, very real thing that's happening right in people's homes.
Yeah, and you said a Minnesota man, 500 victims, one in every state. So a victim in Minnesota and at least one in North Dakota as well.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, scary situation. JC, thank you this morning. And there is a new crisis call line starting up next week that people can call. It will be just 3 digits to remember. Starting on Saturday, July 16th, you can call 988. They will offer mental health help and they're a suicide hotline. It's the new national system, but calls will be answered locally. In our area, First Link of Fargo will answer a call with a 701 area code, as well as the 17 counties near us that have a 218 area code. North Dakota's abortion clinic has now raised more than $930,000 of its $1 million goal to finish a clinic in Moorhead. The Red River Women's Clinic in Fargo purchased that new site after the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which is forcing the North Dakota facility to shut down. Clinic officials are asking for donations to renovate and then furnish those new offices. Fans and friends will gather today for the funeral of a Fargo racer, Casey Arneson. The 27-year-old died Friday in an ATV crash in Becker County. A celebration of life is happening at 11 a.m. at Hope Lutheran Church in South Fargo. And memorial services are planned tomorrow for the North Dakota Air National Guard Sergeant and Carrington Police Chief who died in a motorcycle crash. Visitation for Brandon Sola is Friday at Oak Valley Lutheran Church in Velva. His funeral is there Saturday at 11. He will be laid to rest on July 11th during a service at the Fargo National Veterans Cemetery. Some good news for you on this Thursday morning. The FM donut lockdown is now over. Sandy's Donuts locations were all shut down for about 10 days so they could update their kitchens. They all reopened at 6:30 this morning so you can wake up and enjoy the donuts. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More news and weather coming up for you on the CW. Otherwise, have a safe day. Watch out for the fog out there in some parts. We'll see you back here tomorrow.